We have all been there. You see a wild claim online, and your first instinct is to head straight to the comments to look for the receipts. We want the proof. We want to see the facts for ourselves. For centuries, critics have treated the Bible exactly like a viral rumor. They claim that Jesus is a mythological character, the stories are fairy tales, and the science is just plain wrong. There is an actual academic process for investigating these claims called biblical criticism. It's like putting an ancient text through the ultimate historical and scientific fact check to see what's real and what's not. So when we apply that same internet sleuth energy to this ancient book, does the story fall apart under the pressure, or does it actually hold up? Let's start with the history. The most common claim is that Jesus was a made-up, mythological figure who never really walked the earth. To check this, historians have a rule. You can't use the book itself to prove the book is true. You have to find hostile witnesses, people from that time who actually disliked the movement, but still recorded that it happened. We find these receipts in ancient Roman records. These were written by officials who had no interest in helping Christians, yet they documented the specific details of the trial and the execution under Pontius Pilate. Even ancient Jewish texts, like the Talmud, act as hostile witnesses. In these dense columns, they record a man named Jesus, who performed unusual feats and was eventually executed. Because the people who were trying to stop the movement recorded the same basic facts as the people who started it, the historical fact check is solid. Jesus was a real person. Then there is the geography check. Critics often argue that the Bible's locations are just fantasy maps, like something you'd find in a movie. But when archaeologists dig into the dirt, they find a different story. So far, they have verified 21 out of 26 highly specific cities mentioned in the Gospels. The text also uses very specific language for travel, describing people going up to one town or down to another. On a 3D map, you can see why. The elevation changes in the Middle East perfectly match those descriptions. When the text says someone traveled up, the actual mountain path leads to a higher elevation. These details show the authors were navigating a real-world map, recording the actual hills and valleys they walked every day. Let's move to the science check, starting with the biggest target of all, Noah's Ark. Critics stating millions of animals on a wooden boat is a scientific impossibility. But look at the actual construction plan. The text provides exact dimensions for the length, width, and height. Modern naval engineers found that these specific proportions are the mathematical ideal for a massive, unsinkable cargo ship. For a sense of scale, the hull would be large enough to fit inside a modern football stadium and hold the cargo of 500 freight trucks. Regarding the animals, the biology is simpler than most people think. Noah didn't need every modern breed. He didn't need every specific type of dog. He only needed a single pair of the parent species. And he certainly didn't need full-grown adult dinosaurs. He just needed the babies, or the eggs, which were roughly the size of a baseball. When we apply modern engineering and biology, the logistics of the Ark actually line up with how large-scale transport works. We often hear that the Bible is at odds with science, but the text actually recorded facts that took centuries for scientists to catch up with. In the ancient world, people thought they could count all the stars. The Bible claimed they were uncountable. Today, our deep space telescopes show us billions of galaxies, confirming the universe is far more vast than we ever imagined. The text also described the Earth hanging on nothing in space and mentioned that physical elements could dissolve, descriptions that match modern physics and the breakdown of matter. Scientists like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein actually looked at these descriptions of gravity and dissolving matter as inspiration. Those ancient clues about elements dissolving helped lead to our modern understanding of how energy is stored inside atoms. Instead of lagging behind, the text was often recording the truth about the universe long before we had the tools to prove it. To settle the score, scholars test any ancient book by checking how soon it was written after the events happened, if the authors were eyewitnesses, and if outside records back them up. After comparing thousands of the earliest copies, researchers found the text was copied with incredible precision over the centuries. Because the historical, geographic, and scientific facts consistently match up, the text earns a 98.9% reliability score. Challenging the text and demanding receipts reveals a level of detail we usually don't find in ancient legends. Every hard question and scientific test acts like a magnifying glass, bringing those precise historical details into sharp focus. The next time someone says the text is just a debunked myth, you have the ultimate fact-check receipts to prove the exact opposite.